Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Paul. Paul is from Florida in the USA. So let's see what Paul has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Paul. Yes, now I can hear you. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
So how's your morning going so far?
Good, late start. Slept in today, so that was good.
Where are you from, Paul?
Florida. Tampa, Florida.
Tampa. What's the best part of living in Tampa?
I would say for me, where I live, it's kind of not busy, but because I'm a little bit north of Tampa, so I can get away from the craziness and go home and relax. And then usually the weather's good, so that's nice.
And Tampa is the place where you were born and raised?
No, I was born and raised in New York City.
Wow. And why the change from New York City to Florida?
Well, my whole family moved down here, and I hated living in New York City, so I was like, oh, I guess I'm joining you guys. So down with them.
I see. And how long are you away from New York City?
It's in 7 years.
7 years, wow. And do you see yourself just living in Florida for a while? Long period?
Yeah, for now. Bought a house, so kind of invested in living here for a bit.
I see. A few years ago, I was working for Disney Cruise Line, and we were based in Port Canaveral.
Oh, okay. Yep, not far. Just like 2.5 hours away.
Okay. Yes, it was a very good experience. And what do you do for a living, Paul?
I am a sales coach for an insurance company. Does not sound very exciting, I know.
No, tell me a little bit about it, about your job.
Well, started out in the insurance field randomly because I hated my other job and found that turns out I love the insurance field. I think it's really interesting. Started as an agent and then got promoted to a supervisor, and now I have a team of agents that I supervise and coach on getting sales and meeting their goals and stuff. So it's good. It's nice to see the agents that I work with succeed and get bonuses and thank me and have fun with them. So I enjoy it.
Very good. Paul, before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
I mean, one thing that people don't expect from me is I know how to weld and like do electrical work and build furniture, very hands-on stuff. So started out in high school I wanted to be an aircraft mechanic, so I went to a trade school for that, and then I decided not to do that, but I use all those skills regularly still, so
wow.
That's something people don't expect about me.
You like to put your hands on, you always kind of organize those furniture things.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, very good. Paul, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yep.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it. Look at you, amazing.
My shimmy dance.
During the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? All very friendly. Right, first question is my favorite question of the Magic Box. Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for.
That's a lot. So My message would be thank you for always being there for me, having my back, supporting me in every way that you can. Um, Means a lot more than I probably show you it does, but thank you.
Wow, beautiful mess. I'm sure the person who is watching now must be smiling right now, knowing that. Amazing. Next question, let's do it. Hey, Paul from Florida. Next question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age would that be and why?
Probably the age I am now, 33. Not for any vain or any sort of reasons. I think just in my life, I'm in a really good spot, financially, emotionally, relationship wise, kind of, career wise. I'm kind of crushing it right now, I feel. And it's been a long time working towards that. So I think right now is a good spot. Definitely would not want to go back. But right here, I'd like to stay there.
Amazing. Aging for you is something that bothers you or is just numbers?
Just numbers for now. I mean, now when I turned 30, it was a big deal, and then I was like, that was dumb. But yeah, no, age is not anything. That's why I'm like, it's more about where you're at in life than the number.
Absolutely. I think age is all here. You know what I mean? Everything is controlled by here, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, let's do it. Well, before the next question, tell me, besides the weather, in your opinion, what's the biggest difference of New York and, let's say, Florida itself? Like regarding people, behavior, there's something that for you was quite straight away we spotted when you arrived in Florida?
Yeah, actually. I mean, it's definitely the people, but I think not in a way people would expect. And this is just my opinion. Obviously, I am a gay man, and I grew up in New York, which always seems to be viewed as like very open and like inclusive, which it is to a point, but I think at least where I am in Florida, I was worried about moving to Florida. I was like, oh, Florida, had that reputation. But growing up in New York, in the gay scene, it's very segregated in a way. Like you have your gay bars, your straight bars, they're not really mixed. And even with your gay bars, you have like your bear bar, your twink bar, your older gay bar. Whereas here where I am, it's very like you go to a gay bar and there's straight couples, like single straight men and their friends and every type of gay person, and it doesn't seem cliquey like it did in New York. And that was like a huge surprise to me, and was very happy about that when I moved down. I was like, oh, no one cares like in these bars, and this like everyone's just there to have fun and enjoy themselves. I think that was like the biggest surprise in my opinion in my experience that I experienced move to move.
And what do you miss the most about New York City?
The food. The food. I mean, I love living in Florida, but I mean, it's hard to get a good pizza. So
I had an interview with someone from New York City. He was living or still live in Hawaii, I think. And I asked him what he missed the most about New York City. He said, William, I miss my pizza. There's no other place in the world like the pizza from New York City.
Yeah, no, I found like one place where I live that's like an okay substitute for pizza, like for New York pizza, but it's still not the same.
What's the special thing about the pizza? Is different about it?
Well, they say it's the water, like up north to Florida. That's what they say that makes the pizza. I don't know how like scientifically or like proven that is, but I just also think just how they make it. The sauce is different in like up north. The crust is usually like, at least from my place, is like a little thinner. and here it's just kind of like not as good. But I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's just when you eat New York pizza, you know New York pizza.
I've been to New York City once, and I don't remember if I ate a pizza, but for sure next time when I come to New York, I would like to try, because people just pointed it out, and I was like, okay, I need to have the tastes of pizza of New York City.
And I don't know. I mean, I haven't been there in 7 years, but they used to have like dollar pizza places where you get like 2 slices and a can of soda for like $2.50, and that's like the best pizza in my opinion.
All right, I'll make a note of that. I already did, actually. Right, I think this question now is going to be very easy because I already saw it. Would you ever get a tattoo, and what that would be? I've seen already in your arms and also on your in your neck. So tell me, oh my God, beautiful. So tell me a little bit about this tattoo you have in your neck. What's the meaning?
There is no meaning. If I'm being honest, none of my tattoos necessarily have meaning for like what they are. For me, my tattoos are more about the day I got them, what I was doing, where I was, who I was with. So they're more tied to like memories as opposed to like, that's something meaningful I'm going to put on my body. I have a couple of those. This one particularly, it was just, I always wanted a neck tattoo. And I always wanted like a moth because it just seems like a great, classic spot for that. And then my mom was like, if you're going to get a moth tattoo, you have to get it like right there. And I was like, thanks, Mom, for the approval. And I was on vacation in St. Augustine, Florida with my partner. And we just randomly were like, let's get tattoos. And I was like, cool. And that was like my vacation memory is attached to that one.
See, and which one is the latest one?
My latest one is this one on my hand.
Okay.
I got that like a month ago.
And what's the memory of this tattoo?
So this is actually my original artwork because I draw and do like digital artwork. So trying to start a business there. So I decided to just get tattooed. I was like, oh, it's a free advertisement on my body. People look at it like, oh, I like it. And I was like, oh, I drew it. Here's more. So that was my thought. And then I'm getting another one on the other hand, probably in a month.
I think this tattoo in your hand is your business card, yeah?
Yeah, basically. It is a business card that can't leave my body.
Nice one, I love it. Next question, let's do it, Paul. Okay, Paul, next question is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
So I think about this a lot and I do have an answer. I don't know. There's speculation about how like real this person is, but it would be King Arthur. Because I know there's like talks about him not being real, and if he is real, it's always up in the air. But King Arthur, I love that like time period. Definitely like a period piece kind of person. Anything with swords, I'm into. Anything that he like mentions King Arthur, I'm watching. So definitely would be King Arthur. Just fascinated with that, like their story, like the stories about him and the knights and connection with Merlin and stuff like that. I just think it's super interesting, and I'm kind of a nerd in that way. So
tell me a little bit about him. His what is his field, his profession?
So he was like there's stories of him. He had like the knights at the round table. Basically just a king who usually like fought for good. There's always like a love triangle that was involved with his wife too, and one of the knights. I kind of thought that'd be fun to talk about at dinner kind of thing. But that's my like just fascination with that time period too. Just ask him how like it was living back then and like having a kingdom and fighting with swords and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there's probably better answers.
No,
like,
absolutely not. They are not right or wrong answers. Just what matters is your answers here in the interview.
I'm a self-proclaimed nerd, so I like all that kind of stuff.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Next question. Okay, next question is, who was your favorite teacher and why?
I had some good teachers. I'll be honest, I was very lucky. I had a lot of good teachers, mostly good.
Did you like school?
I did like school. I was definitely one of the kids who tried hard at school. I liked getting good grades and stuff and being recognized for that. One of my favorite teachers that's popping into my head now would probably be my 7th grade science teacher, Mr. Perrin. Can't really say I learned much from him as far as like, I'm sure I did at the time, but just the class that he did, like the assignments, they were so fun and like out of the box. Like we learned about like physics and stuff by like throwing an egg off out the window and like trying to protect it, and like, you know, learned about space by building spacesuits that would be, you know, where we had to imagine how they would help them survive in space and think about that, like how it works with the body. Building like cars out of sustainable materials to talk about like physics as well and that kind of stuff, and like weight and all that stuff. So it was just like really fun, and it was definitely out of the box way of teaching things, and like made it enjoyable. Like it wasn't a chore to go to that class and do those assignments because they were always fun.
I think when you have like a teacher that inspires you somehow, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? You feel more like involved with the subject, and also, you know, going to school and spend time that I think teachers, they always leave a big impact in our lives for sure.
Yeah. And so I feel like everyone's always if you're having fun, you're more likely to learn more and enjoy it. And
absolutely.
Why not?
Next question. Let's do it. You are already dancing, yeah? Before the next question, so tell me a little bit about your drawing, about your art.
Well, I mean, I've always been like someone who like draws and doodles and stuff. And I guess just a little story. I went to my first Comic-Con convention a few months back. And I was there and I was like looking at people who are like selling these like digital arts and stuff. I'm like, I could do this. And then I bought an iPad and I just started drawing. Mostly right now I do like voodoo doll stuff. Like I like to make characters into voodoo dolls. So like I just did a bunch of like Mortal Kombat characters and made them like fun little cute little creepy voodoo dolls. I do a lot of like alien stuff, unicorns, kind of like horror things too. I like to draw things that like look demented, so like weird looking fruit or food and stuff. It's just my way to, because in my job I don't get to be as creative in that kind of sense. So being that I feel like I'm a very creative person, I like to get it out somewhere. So it's something I just enjoy doing. And then I got into like sculpting with like clay, which has been fun. So I have a little Etsy shop too, which is kind of cool. Seeing people buy stuff that I made. And I was like, oh, that's never really thought that would happen. But yeah, it just kind of is a way for me to relax and kind of get back to like down to earth and just enjoy my weekends and like my nights. And yeah, it's just definitely something that I'm passionate about and always kind of have a go-to to keep me sane.
And usually do you draw every single day or not?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not like on the iPad, I'm, you know, if I have a pen and paper next to me, I'm doodling something. So just like to keep busy.
Amazing. Next question for you is, what is the worst pickup line have you ever heard?
Well, I gotta be honest, like as far as classic pickup lines, I've only ever had like once, like out in public. I mean, there's been like obviously like online and like through the apps and stuff. But the one that I've gotten in person was, I don't think it's bad. It's just kind of hilarious. This weirdly, I was at like a straight bar, like, and it was like an older crowd, and some guy comes up to me and says, "Are you Little Caesars? Because you look hot and ready." And I just laughed and walked away. But thinking back on it, like, it was funny. Like, it was funny, but I was already a little drunk at the time, and I was like, not happening. But yeah, it's a good story to tell because it's the only time that's ever been like fully picked up at a bar like that with one of those lines.
So what he said, you are a Caesar?
He says, "Are you Little Caesars? Because you look hot and ready." And I don't know if you know Little Caesars. It's like a pizza place, and they're known for like their hot and ready pizzas that are ready in like 5 minutes. So it was funny.
But
it was a good one.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. I mean, he could have been my grandfather, which is not a big deal. But I was also drunk with my partner and his family, and we were just hanging out, and it was and then he started hitting on my partner's aunt after that. So I was like, oh, I guess I wasn't that special, but I felt special in that moment.
Funny. Ready for another one?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it, Paul. Next question. Okay, next question for you is, if you could make up a school subject, what that would be?
Like, I feel like they have these classes like when you're older, but I think when you're younger, in like high school and like middle school, more classes that are relating to like building credit and saving money, that kind of stuff. Because I feel like when you're younger, you don't think about it. I mean, you get your first job probably like 15 or 16. You have some money, you spend it, and it's like, okay, I've earned that. But then when you get like 18, 19, 20, and you might need more money, or like looking for credit to buy a car, and you're like, oh, maybe I should have thought about this. So, because I know for me, I was not prepared. I like to spend a lot of money and do whatever I want. And then when real life came, I was like, oh, these are things that I should have been preparing for. So I think that would be definitely something that I think they should teach kids earlier.
It's so true, Paul. I totally agree with you. I think, people, they get in some debts because of that, because they're not prepared. They don't know how to manage, I remember as well, when I started my adult life, you just don't understand. You don't know how you're spending, how you are, put your money there. And you just realize when you literally run out of money and you don't know how you can manage that. And you can get in some like troubles or challenges you don't know. So I totally agree. I think if people if you teach us like as younger, for sure we would, manage our financial life in a different way, for sure. Yeah. 3 questions left for you. Let's do it. Before the next one, tell me, how is being a married guy? Tell me about this journey in your life.
I'm sorry, how is being what?
Married. I think you're married, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I thought you said America for a second. I was like, I don't know. That's fine. But yeah. Being married, I mean, if I'm being honest, is my second marriage. First one was not great, but whatever. But no, it's good. I mean, we just got married in March, so we've been together for 4 years, and it's cool. I mean, same thing as dating life. I think not much has changed with being married, but I mean, I like it. It's nice to have someone here, when I need them. But he's a good guy, so I'm not great with like talking about sappy stuff. It's not my forte, but no, he's good. Like he gets me. He deals with me. He puts up with me. Is what I should really say. I'm difficult, so.
What's the biggest similarity between both of you and the biggest difference?
I I mean, the big similarity, I guess, like we're both very much into like family, that kind of stuff, which is nice to have that. Like, I like his family, he likes mine. That's good. We all get along. The biggest difference is I have like OCD, a little like neurotic about things, and he's definitely more like relaxed. I'm like the crazy one that like thinks of something and like needs to do it right away, and he's like, we can just relax for now. And I'm like, nope, gotta do it. It's gotta be done now, or else I won't be able to relax. So I think that's like, but he's good. He deals with that. He lets me have my moments. So
Good balance. Right, next question for you is, what is the most difficult thing have you ever done?
the most difficult thing I've ever done. Ugh. I mean, I think just like surviving, but that's not very specific. I would say probably going just buying a house is very difficult. That was a very difficult time for me. Did not know that. It's another thing they should probably teach kids. It's like that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't say it's like the most difficult thing. I guess maybe this is gonna be a little bit cheesy, but I guess just growing up in the closet and not being comfortable with coming out. I always knew my family was like super supportive, but I still never thought that I could come out to them. And I was a very angry kid because of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then like eventually I came out and it was like a weight lifted off of me, and I was much happier, fought a lot less with my family. So I guess probably overall that was probably like the most difficult like time period in my life was growing up in like middle school and high school and being afraid to be who I was. Which you shouldn't be.
The day when you came out, did something happen, or you just felt like, okay, from today I'm gonna be my true self?
Yeah, it was just I was like, it's time. It's like I can't avoid this any longer. And then I told my mom, and she was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, cool, great. She's like, you can tell your dad. I was like, yeah. And he came over. He was like, you like guys? And I was like, yeah. He's like, okay. And that was it. It was like,
Really?
Wow. Yeah. They were like, we know, we're fine. Are you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm good now. And they're like, okay.
So, simple as that.
Very simple. I'm very fortunate that it was like that. I know a lot of people don't have that experience, but I was lucky to have that.
When I asked the question, you said about surviving. You meant like the period of your life before coming out?
Yeah, just like everything. I mean, life is hard. I mean, like, I think we don't think we think about that as much, like, as we probably should. Like, just the fact of like waking up, getting out of bed, like doing your like going to work or like doing what you have to do, like the fact that we do that, like we don't have to. I mean, there's nothing that's forcing us to do it. Like we could choose not to and just like let things go and kind of waste away. But just the fact that we all want to thrive and have things in life and do it, I think that's just kind of an everyday difficulty that we take for granted sometimes and like don't think about it because we just do it.
Sure. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it, Bo. When you arrived in Florida, did the weather kind of bother you a little bit, or you just loved it?
No, I liked it. We've been to Florida a lot before, so like we knew Florida. I will say it was definitely weird because we did move in like October, so it was like starting of like the holiday season, which we're used to like being cold, and then having like the first Christmas where I could wear shorts. That was weird. I was like, oh, okay, this doesn't feel like Christmas because I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. But now I'm kind of used to it. I'm like, I could wear shorts and t-shirts. It's fine. I'm not mad at that.
Next question is, what is your most embarrassing moment?
Ooh. I have a lot of those. Like a lot. Uh, hmm. I guess like the one that I think about often, but it's like embarrassing, but no one really knows it was going on. And I won't go to too much detail because it is kind of gross, but I had a parasite that I got from like really funny. I went to help restore coastline for like spring break, and I was in the water and I got a parasite that's only found in that water, and which was great. I was like, oh cool, I came to help people and help the the coastline, and I get a parasite from doing it, but it made me very sick for like 6 months, and
Wow.
I'd be walking around and just having to immediately walk back home because yeah, you probably put it together, but that was embarrassing, but no one really knew unless I told them what was going on. But just thinking about that time, I'm like, that was so gross and embarrassing that I had to deal with that and then go to the doctors and deal with it. That's just the memory that I always have when I think of being embarrassed. It's like, oh, that time of my life. Great. Karma somehow, or being helpful.
Now they're gonna know now.
They are gonna know. And it's not like, I mean, I will tell friends about it all the time. Like, I'm embarrassed about it, but I'm also like, I might as well just make it a funny story.
Absolutely.
But I also don't want to give out the gross details here. They don't need to hear that.
You can tell me
to torture my friends.
You can tell me in private when I stop recording, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Ready for the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it, Paul. Last question. But before the last question, those 2 years that the world went literally upside down regarding the COVID crisis, yeah? What's the biggest positive impact that brought to your personal life?
I don't want to make anyone mad, but like COVID was really good to me that time period. One, never had COVID. Haven't had it yet. So I don't know why, but haven't had it. But during that time period, I lost weight. I bought a house. And I bought it like right at the beginning when it was like still cheap to buy houses here. So I got very lucky then. I got married during that time period. Like it was good. I got promotion at my job. It was very good for me. And I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, and I do feel bad with like who were like really affected by it, and like that it sucks. It was a crazy time. But I think I was very fortunate during this time period. Like I got to work from home, and so I was able to keep my job and work from home and do all that. So there was a lot of positive things that happened for me personally. So very thankful for that.
Yes, I think that besides the sadness and the sadness that brought it, my God, a lot of them, but a lot of beautiful things came along as well. Positive things as well, and I think people, they found a different way of living, and they had the opportunity to get themselves in a better way, being locked. So yeah, there's always a positive thing out of those challenge journey for sure. Last question for you is, where is the most exotic place have you ever been?
The most exotic place? I'm not very well traveled. I mean, in the United States, I've been a lot of places. And I wouldn't really consider this exotic, but I will say it's not like an easy place to travel to, I guess. But I did go on a cruise to Alaska. So like that was great. Mm-hmm. And probably like my favorite place I've ever been. Very beautiful. I was very fortunate to win a trip at my job, and they paid for it. So that was cool too. I didn't have to pay for that.
Wow.
So like, yeah, I got to see like the glaciers and stuff like that. So that was just mind blowing, like breathtaking. I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, haven't been really, I mean, really haven't been overseas or anything. Been to the Caribbean and Canada, but I feel like that's kind of obvious when you live either in like New York or in Florida. You kind of make your way over there. But yeah, no, Alaska was definitely the best place and the furthest place I've ever been to as well.
Right, beautiful. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Money.
Power.
Love.
Hate.
Family.
Friends. Pretty.
One word for life.
Life. Oh,
yeah.
Immediately I thought of death.
Okay.
So.
Sex.
Happiness.
Ooh. Politics.
Dumb.
Religion.
Dumb.
For some reason, I knew you'd say that. I don't know why. I had a feeling.
And I will like make it clear. It's not I think all religions are. I think religion is just very skewed right now, and I just think use religion for what it's for, not for other things. But maybe.
Fear.
A lot.
Friendship.
Fleeting. That's like the easiest way I can think of it.
Desire.
Need.
Regret.
None.
Success.
Power.
How about happiness?
I was gonna say now. That's what popped into my head.
Okay. Wish.
I literally, this is embarrassing. I just popped to my head shipping.
One word for New York City.
Busy.
I thought you said pizza.
Oh, no, I said busy. Pizza's close second.
One word for Florida.
Hot.
The last one now, USA, one word.
Big. Came into my head.
Very big for sure. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your lovely husband for a coffee, yeah? And I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about Paul? And what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What he would say?
I would say probably the most beautiful thing, probably like my creative mind. Because he's definitely very supportive of that. Thing I need to work on is communication.
Really?
Yeah, I know it. It's a flaw. Communicate. I rather not talk about things right away and like kind of shut down a bit. So and he's very like, we should talk.
Just the fact that you know is already halfway of the journey of improvement. You know what I mean?
I'm working on it.
Great, very good. Let's play now, Paul, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Paul, you can ask me a question now.
So, I know you're based in London, right?
Yeah.
And I personally love like the UK and the culture, and I think they have a very different sense of humor than over here that I connect with. And I was wondering if you have, and I do watch some shows from over there, do you have a favorite TV show or like comedian or something that from over there, from London?
Yes, good question. Actually, as you said, of course, absolutely, I totally agree. I think the humor between, the British and the American or other parts of the world, they're very different. There's a show called Little Britain. I don't know if you heard about it, Little Britain. Put on Google afterwards on YouTube, you're gonna find it's hilarious because it's so funny because they they literally, they touch it in this, you know, very slang way of talking, like in England, in London, that you just see here, you don't see anywhere else. And it's very silly and funny as well. So yeah, Little Britain is it's very famous. I don't think it's on now on TV, but it went for like several years, and it's just so funny. And when you live here, you can see it. And my God, it's so true. It's literally like that when you walk in the suburbs of London, you know, some places you just see it. It's the same way. So Little Britain, it's very popular.
I will have to look that up.
Check it out, because if you like the British humor, you're gonna like a lot, and you're gonna laugh as well. And some slangs that they say, the way they say as well. Just, I think if I wasn't living here, if I would watch it, I think I wouldn't understand like half way of what they say. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sure as a native, you know, English speaker, for sure, for you're gonna understand. But for me, when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, if I didn't live here, I don't think I would understand what they're talking about or what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? So it's yeah, it's a funny TV show for sure. Paul, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
Yes. I was definitely a little nervous about it. I haven't really done anything like this. I was like, but no, it was cool. It was chill. It was fun. Nothing to be scared about.
Amazing. Thanks so much. I remember when I was talking to you, and I could see that you were a bit hesitated about doing it. And actually today when you sent a message, okay, I can do it at 4 p.m. I was like, yes, he got it.
Yeah, I caught the bug. I was like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
I'm glad you took the challenge. Thanks so much for taking the time, for being sweet as well, for being part of the show. But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Well, yeah, I do have actually a quote, and it's from a movie, and it's one of my favorite movies, and I think it's a really good quote that I like to, at least I always talk about at work too. I always tell my team this. It's from the movie Sucker Punch. So I don't know if you heard of it. If you guys haven't seen it, you should watch it. It is a good movie. But it says, you see your fight for survival starts right now. You don't want to be judged, you won't be. You don't think you're strong enough, you are. You're afraid, don't be. You have all the weapons you need, now fight. And it's just a way to remind myself that I have everything that I need to be successful and do what I want in my life and stuff. So it's a great quote. It's a great part of the movie too. And it just, I don't know, it's like my go-to inspirational quote and words of positivity that I have for everyone.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Paul. Amazing. It was a pleasure to connect with you, okay? Keep in touch. Regards to your family, your partner, and I'll see you sometime, okay? Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.